Story 1. I've worked at First National Bank for 3 years now, and I thought I'd seen every type of difficult customer. Started as a teller right out of community college because I needed stable work with benefits. My mom had just been diagnosed with diabetes, and I was helping with her medical bills. The bank job wasn't glamorous, but it paid decently and had good insurance. I'd worked my way up to assistant manager last year, which meant I got stuck with closing duties most evenings. Our branch closes at 5 p.m. sharp on weekdays. We have signs on every door, it's posted on our website, and there's even an automated message on our phone line. By 5:05 p.m. on this particular Tuesday, I'd already locked the front doors, closed out my till, and was helping the last teller finish her cash count. That's when I heard it, loud banging on the glass entrance doors. I looked up to see a woman in her 50s, dressed in expensive-looking workout clothes, absolutely pounding on the door with her fist. Her face was red, and she was shouting something I couldn't quite make out. I walked over to the door, staying on the inside. I spoke through the glass. "Me? I'm sorry, ma'am, but we're closed. We close at 5 p.m. We'll reopen tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. "Karen, what do you mean closed? It's not even 5 yet." She held up her phone, thrusting it against the glass. "Me, ma'am, it's 5:06 right now. I can come back at 8:45 tomorrow morning if you'd like to be one of our first customers." "Karen, your clock is lying." She pointed furiously at the large clock on our lobby wall, visible through the glass. "Karen, that says 5:06, but my phone says 4:58. You changed your clocks to close early." I glanced at the wall clock, then at my own watch, then at my phone. They all showed 5:06. "Me, ma'am, I assure you all our clocks are correct. Perhaps your phone's time needs to be updated." "Karen, don't you dare tell me my phone is wrong. I have automatic time updates. You people changed your clocks so you could leave early." The teller behind me had stopped counting and was watching nervously. I could see our head manager, Mr. Phillips, emerging from his office in the back. "Karen, open this door right now. I need to make a deposit before the end of the business day." "Me? I understand you need to make a deposit, but we've been closed for 6 minutes. If this is time sensitive, you can use our ATM right there, or you can use our mobile app to make a mobile deposit." "Karen, I don't trust those machines. They steal your money. I need to hand my deposit to a real person." Mr. Phillips reached me and took over. "Mr. Phillips, good evening, ma'am. I'm the branch manager. I understand there's some confusion about our closing time." "Karen, there's no confusion. You're all scamming people. You closed early." Mr. Phillips held up his phone, showing her the time. 5:08 p.m. "Mr. Phillips, ma'am, as you can see, it's now 5:08. Our wall clock shows 5:08. My phone shows 5:08. We close at 5 p.m. every weekday." "Karen, you're all in on the timeline scam." I blinked. "Timeline scam?" "Mr. Phillips, I'm sorry, what scam?" "Karen, all of you, the bank, the government, the phone companies, you're all working together to manipulate time so you can control people. You make time move faster so we have less time to do things, and then you close early and blame us." Mr. Phillips and I exchanged glances. This was entering territory neither of us had encountered before. "Mr. Phillips, ma'am, I promise you, we're not manipulating time. Our hours are set by corporate policy, and all our clocks are synchronized with the National Time Standard." "Karen, National Time Standard, that's part of it. They control the satellites, they control everything." She was getting louder, and I noticed a couple of people across the parking lot starting to look over. "Karen, I'm calling the police. I'm calling the news. Everyone needs to know what you're doing here." "Mr. Phillips, ma'am, you're welcome to call whoever you'd like, but we're not going to open the doors after closing. If you'd like to file a complaint, you can call our customer service line or visit any branch during business hours." "Karen, I want to speak to your supervisor." "Mr. Phillips, I am the supervisor. I'm the branch manager." "Karen, your supervisor, the regional manager, someone above you." Mr. Phillips pulled out his business card and pressed it against the glass. "Mr. Phillips, here's the number for our regional office. They're also closed right now, but you can call tomorrow during business hours." Karen grabbed her phone and started recording us through the glass. "Karen, I'm documenting this. I'm showing everyone how this bank treats customers, how you lie about closing times, how you're part of the timeline manipulation conspiracy." She kept filming and yelling for another minute, then suddenly stopped. She looked at her phone, and her face went pale. She looked at the clock on the wall again, then back at her phone. Without another word, she turned and walked to her car. She got in and drove off quickly. I looked at Mr. Phillips. "Me, what just happened?" "Mr. Phillips, I think her phone finally updated." We watched her taillights disappear from the parking lot. Mr. Phillips sighed deeply. "Mr. Phillips, 3 years until retirement." The next morning, we found a 1-star review online claiming we were part of a time manipulation scheme and that customers should demand the truth about closing times. Mr. Phillips printed it out and hung it in the break room. We all needed the laugh. Story 2. I've been working at this burger joint for about 6 months now. It's one of those trendy places with exposed brick walls and overpriced fries, but the tips are decent and my manager mostly leaves me alone. I'm a server here, putting myself through community college while trying to figure out what I actually want to do with my life. The job isn't glamorous, but it pays the bills and I've gotten pretty good at handling difficult customers. Or so I thought. It was a Tuesday afternoon, that weird dead zone between lunch and dinner when we only have a handful of tables. I was restocking napkins when she walked in. Middle-aged woman, designer handbag, sunglasses that probably cost more than my rent. She sat herself at one of my tables without waiting for the host. I grabbed a menu and headed over with my best customer service smile. "Me, hi there, welcome in. Can I start you off with something to drink?" "Karen, I'll have water. Filtered. With exactly 3 ice cubes. Not 4, not 2, 3. I blinked, thinking she was joking. She wasn't. "Me, sure, no problem. I'll be right back with that." I counted out 3 ice cubes like I was defusing a bomb and brought it to her table. She inspected the glass, actually counting the cubes, before nodding her approval. "Karen, I need a few minutes with the menu. Everything here looks suspicious." "Me, take your time. Let me know when you're ready." I checked on my other tables, grateful for the distance. 10 minutes later, she waved me over with the kind of urgency you'd expect if the building was on fire. "Karen, I'll have the signature burger, but I need you to tell the chef that the lettuce needs to be crisp, but not aggressive. I can't handle vegetables with attitude." I wrote it down, not entirely sure what aggressive lettuce meant, but figuring the kitchen would just make it normally. "Me, got it. Anything else?" "Karen, and the tomatoes should be room temperature. Cold tomatoes are disrespectful to the palate." "Me, sure thing." I put the order in, adding a note about the room temperature tomatoes, but leaving out the part about the lettuce's attitude problem. Our chef, a guy named Mike who's been doing this for 15 years, gave me a weird look but shrugged and got to work. 8 minutes later, the burger came up looking perfect. I delivered it with high hopes that this would be the end of our interaction. I was wrong. 2 minutes later, she flagged me down again, her face twisted in disgust. "Karen, this is unacceptable. The lettuce has a sarcastic crunch." "Me, I'm sorry, a sarcastic crunch?" "Karen, yes, it's mocking me. Every bite is condescending. Take it back." I stood there for a moment, trying to process what I'd just heard. But I needed this job, so I took the plate back to the kitchen. Mike looked at the barely touched burger and then at me. "Mike, what's wrong with it?" "Me, she says the lettuce is being sarcastic." "Mike, the lettuce is what?" "Me, just make her another one. Please. I can't deal with this right now." He remade the burger, this time using different lettuce from a different container. I brought it out, praying this would be the end of it. It wasn't. 3 bites in, she called me over again. Karen, still sarcastic. Maybe even more sarcastic than the first one. This lettuce is deliberately insulting me. I want another one. Me, ma'am, I'm not sure what you'd like us to do differently. It's just regular lettuce. Karen, don't you dare gaslight me about this lettuce's tone. Make me another burger. I took the plate back. Mike was less understanding this time. Mike, is she serious right now? Me, unfortunately, yes. Mike, I'm not making her another full burger. This is ridiculous. Me, I know, but she's going to complain to management, and then it becomes my problem. He grumbled but made a third burger, this time removing most of the lettuce and adding extra sauce to compensate. I delivered it, fully expecting her to send it back again. I was right. Karen, now the lettuce is being passive-aggressive. It's worse. I refuse to eat food that's judging me. Something in me snapped. Not visibly, but internally. I walked back to the kitchen where Mike was already shaking his head. Me, she sent it back again. Mike, that's it. I'm done. He grabbed a plain bun from the warmer, put it on a plate with nothing else, and handed it to me. Mike, give her this. Tell her it's what she ordered. Me, are you sure about this? Mike, trust me. I carried the plate of plain bread to her table, setting it down with probably less grace than I should have. Me, here you go. The chef prepared this specially for you. She looked at the bun, then at me, then back at the bun. She picked it up and took a bite of the dry, empty bread. She chewed slowly, thoughtfully. Karen, finally. Sincerity. She took another bite, nodding to herself. Karen, this is what I've been asking for all along. Honest food. No pretense. No sarcasm. She finished the entire plain bun while I stood there, wondering if I was being pranked by a hidden camera show. When she was done, she pulled out her wallet. Karen, how much do I owe for the meal? Me, $14. She handed me exact change with no tip and walked out. I stood there holding $14 in cash, staring at the empty plate with crumbs on it. Mike came out from the kitchen. Mike, did she actually eat the plain bun? Me, every last bite. Mike, and she paid for it? Me, full price. We both started laughing, the kind of exhausted laughter that comes from dealing with something so absurd that your brain can't process it any other way. My manager later told me we'd be flagging her in our system, whatever that meant. I kept the $14 in my pocket for the rest of my shift, a reminder that sometimes the best way to deal with entitled people is to give them exactly what they're asking for, even when they don't know what that is. Story 3. I took the job at Glow and Radiance Skincare Boutique 6 months ago after my previous retail gig at a clothing store shut down. The pay was slightly better, and I figured selling face creams would be easier than dealing with fitting room disasters. I was wrong, but at least the store smelled nice with all the lavender and eucalyptus diffusers everywhere. My manager trained me on the basics. Know the difference between dry skin and dehydrated skin. Understand skin types. Read ingredient lists. Recommend products based on customer needs. Simple enough. It was a slow Thursday afternoon when she walked in. Designer purse, pristine white sneakers, and that specific energy that made my retail senses tingle with warning. She marched straight to the counter where I was restocking sample jars. Karen, I need help immediately. Your products ruined my skin. I put on my customer service smile. Me, I'm sorry to hear that. Can you tell me what product you purchased and what issues you're experiencing? Karen, that moisturizer your incompetent coworker sold me last week. She clearly had no idea what she was doing. Me, do you have the product with you, or do you remember which one it was? Karen, it was some basic hydrating cream. But that's not the point. The point is that she sold me completely the wrong thing. Me, okay, let's figure out what would work better for you. Can you describe your skin type and concerns? Karen, my skin isn't dry. It's emotionally dehydrated. I paused, waiting for her to laugh or indicate she was joking. She stared at me with complete seriousness. I'm not sure I understand what you mean by emotionally dehydrated. Karen, of course you don't. Nobody here understands skincare on a deeper level. My skin doesn't need water. It needs spiritual moisture. So you're looking for a moisturizer that's not water-based? Karen, no, I'm looking for someone who actually listens. My skin is parched on a soul level. It's crying out for energetic hydration, not chemical hydration. I glanced toward the back room, hoping my manager would suddenly appear. She didn't. We have some lovely oil-based moisturizers if you prefer something without water as the main ingredient. Karen, you're not hearing me. I said spiritual moisture, not water moisture. Her voice had risen significantly. Two other customers browsing nearby looked over nervously. I want to help you, but I need to understand what specific product qualities you're looking for. Are you interested in something with essential oils? We have moisturizers with rose oil, frankincense, and other ingredients that some people find calming. Karen, this is ridiculous. I came here for expert advice, and you're giving me the same ignorant response as the last girl. Ma'am, I'm trying my best to help, but I need you to describe what you want in terms of skincare ingredients or concerns. Do you have sensitivity, redness, dry patches? Karen, I have a sensitivity to people who don't understand holistic beauty. My aura reader told me my skin is absorbing negative energy from poor product choices. I need something that aligns with my soul type. What's your soul type? The question came out before I could stop myself. I immediately regretted it. Karen, I'm an autumn soul with winter rising, obviously, which means my skin needs grounding moisture that connects to earth elements while also providing clarity. Your products are all wrong for this. We do have a clay-based moisturizer with minerals that might be what you're looking for. Karen, clay. You think my soul wants clay? This is exactly the problem. You're all trained to push products without any understanding of metaphysical dermatology. I'm not familiar with metaphysical dermatology. Is that a specific skincare philosophy? Karen, it's the only real skincare philosophy. Everything else is just corporate nonsense designed to keep people buying the wrong products for their energy field. My manager finally emerged from the back room, probably drawn by the raised voices. Manager, is everything all right here? Karen, no, your staff is completely incompetent. I told her my skin needs spiritual moisture, and she's trying to sell me water-based products. My manager, bless her, maintained a straight face. Manager, ma'am, all of our moisturizers are formulated with scientifically proven ingredients for skin hydration. If you're looking for products with a spiritual or holistic component, you might want to try a metaphysical shop or wellness center. Karen, so you're admitting you can't help customers with evolved skincare needs. Manager, I'm saying we sell skincare products based on dermatological science, not spiritual practices. Karen stared at both of us for a long moment, then grabbed a sample jar from the counter and examined it. Karen, fine. I'll take my business somewhere that understands the connection between skin and soul. She put the sample jar in her purse and walked out. Manager, did she just steal that sample? Yes. Manager, her soul type must be shoplifter. Story 4. I started volunteering at local dog shows about a year ago. My aunt breeds golden retrievers and got me into it. And honestly, I just love being around dogs all day. It beats sitting at home, and I've learned a lot about different breeds and training techniques. I help with registration, setting up rings, and generally making sure things run smoothly. Most people who come to these events are really passionate about their dogs and respectful of the process, even when they don't win. Today was the monthly obedience competition at the community center. We had about 30 dogs registered, ranging from tiny Chihuahuas to massive Great Danes. I was manning the check-in table when she burst through the doors. She had a Yorkie tucked under one arm and a designer purse under the other. The dog had a pink bow that was bigger than its head and what looked like a custom rhinestone collar. She marched straight past the registration table toward the main ring. Excuse me, ma'am, you need to check in first. Karen, I don't have time for bureaucracy. My baby needs to be seen. I understand, but everyone has to register. It'll just take a minute. She huffed and stomped back to my table, dropping her purse down so hard that my clipboard jumped. Karen, fine. What do I need to do? I'll need your name, your dog's name, and which category you're entering. Karen, we're here for the cuteness trophy. We don't have a cuteness category. Today is obedience judging. There's heel work, recall, and stay commands. Karen, that's ridiculous. Look at this face. She held up the Yorkie, who did look adorable, but was also trying to eat her hair. She's very cute, but this is specifically an obedience competition. The dogs are judged on how well they follow commands. Karen, my princess doesn't need to follow commands. She's perfect exactly as she is. Then maybe this isn't the right event for you. We have a fun match next month that's more casual. Karen, no, we're competing today. She deserves recognition. I glanced at my supervisor across the room, but she was busy helping set up equipment. I didn't want to make a scene, so I just processed the registration and hoped for the best. Karen, where's my number? You'll compete in Ring 2. They're starting in about 15 minutes. She snatched the number from my hand and walked off. I watched her go, already dreading whatever was about to happen. 15 minutes later, the obedience competition began. I was helping to manage the ring when Karen's turn came up. The judge, a woman who'd been doing this for 20 years, explained the first exercise. Judge, we'll start with a basic heel. Walk your dog in a straight line, make a turn, and return to the starting position. Your dog should stay by your left side the entire time. Karen, my baby doesn't do positions. She's a free spirit. Judge, ma'am, that's what we're judging today. Obedience. Karen, obedience is oppression. Several people in the audience turned to stare. The judge looked at me, then back at Karen. Judge, if you're not comfortable with the format, you're welcome to withdraw. Karen, absolutely not. You people need to see real talent. She put the Yorkie down on the ground. The dog immediately sat down and started licking its paw. Judge, whenever you're ready to begin. Karen, she'll perform when she's ready. You can't rush art. The judge waited patiently for about 30 seconds before trying again. Judge, ma'am, I need you to attempt the heel exercise or I'll have to disqualify you. Karen, this is discrimination. You're all threatened by her natural beauty. That's when she did it. She reached down, unclipped the leash, and released her dog into the ring. Karen, go show them. Baby, be free. The Yorkie, suddenly unleashed in a room full of dogs and people, did what any sensible small dog would do. It bolted, but not toward the exit or back to its owner. No, this little dog made a beeline straight for the refreshment area where another contestant had set down a plate of sausages they'd brought as training treats. The Yorkie grabbed an entire sausage, which was almost as big as the dog itself, and started running around the ring with it hanging from its mouth like a prize. The owner of the sausages, a guy with a German shepherd, jumped up. Owner, hey, that's Bruno's reward. Karen, finders keepers. My baby earned that through her initiative. The Yorkie was now doing victory laps around the ring, the sausage bouncing with each step. Several other dogs started barking and straining at their leashes, wanting in on the action. The judge blew her whistle. Judge, ma'am, you need to catch your dog and leave immediately. Karen, she's networking. This is how champions are born. My supervisor finally intervened, helping me corner the Yorkie near the equipment table. The dog growled at us, protecting its stolen sausage. I managed to grab it gently and handed it back to Karen, who was now complaining about how we'd traumatized her pet. Supervisor, you're disqualified and banned from future events. Please leave. Karen, You haven't heard the last of this. I'm writing to the Kennel Club. My lawyer will hear about this oppression." She stormed out, the Yorkie still clutching pieces of sausage in its mouth, leaving a trail of crumbs across the floor. The German Shepherd's owner looked at his empty plate and sighed. "Owner, well, at least someone enjoyed them." The rest of the competition went smoothly after that. As I helped clean up at the end of the day, I couldn't help but laugh. The Yorkie might not have won any obedience prizes, but it definitely won something that day. Best Sausage Thief in Show.